Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk with you about what happened to Bubu and Fuco a few weeks ago when they were flying outside as they usually do. Well, these two guys were chased by a bird of prey I couldn't recognize. They were chilling on a tree, and from the nearest tree, I think it was a buzzard, but I'm not very sure, started to chase them and try to catch Bubu. This thing already happened a few times. I think in these years it happened 3 or 4 times. And this time, like the other times, the cockatiels reacted lightning fast, and immediately they lost the bird. The chase lasted for, I don't know, 2 seconds, and the bird couldn't catch any of my birds because they reacted so fast and they went away immediately. And if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing to the channel, leaving a like or a comment below. Cockatiels are very scary birds. They are afraid of everything and they are always ready to escape. At least if they are birds that are used to the outside. Maybe if your bird lives inside home all the time. In a situation like this, it's not certain it would react as fast as my birds. But my cockatiels, living outside all the year since when they were very young, they have definitely good reflexes and they are always on the alert. And also being in group, what a cockatiel sees is immediately communicated to the other. So if a cockatiel feels threatened, she will fly away immediately, give the alarm, and all of the other birds will do the same, even if they don't directly see the danger. They will just listen to the alarm of one of the cockatiel, and they will all fly away like crazy. And this time, only Bubu and Fuco were outside, and their mates were inside of the cage. In the rush of the escape, what the cockatiels think is not much where they're flying, it's just flying away as fast as possible and trying to lose the chasing bird. Well, this time, like other times, they flew fast and far and I lost sight of them. And even if your cockatiel is trained for recall, for free flying, recall is not going to work in a situation like this because the channel of communication with you is mostly closed. The bird is just thinking about its own safety and it will just fly fast and far until it thinks it's not being chased anymore. And when it feels it's not being chased, it will land somewhere where it feels like it's safe and will just sit there silently until the dust settles. If by any chance, very high chance, this landing spot is away from the area known by the bird is lost, and it needs help from you to return home. Again, this happened a few times, I think 2 times, and the last time it was Genji in this same situation. But the spot where she landed after the chase was in my small town where I live. It has like 6,000 inhabitants, it's very small. So a few hours after the escape, I were walking through all of the small town, every street, and with my whistle, until Genji heard my whistling and answered with her own flock call. So I could locate her fairly easy, and as soon as she saw me, she came back on my shoulder. And the job was done. But this last time it was different, because I went through all of the streets of my small town like 10 times, all of them, whistling a lot, and there was no trace of Bubu. Fuco landed somewhere in the neighborhood because after an hour or so he was back home by his own with no effort at all. But Bubu gave me a lot of trouble. This guy was nowhere around. I have an electric unicycle, and so I rode my electric unicycle through all of the roads of my town like it's been an hell of a day. In this situation, what I do is basically roam every single street, trying to listen if I can hear the call, the flock call of my bird, and I whistle with my excessively loud whistle to try to make the bird hear me and call me back. So I did it for a full day with zero results. The next day, I did the same thing again, and there was no result again. And I was very sad because it never happened before. 2 days without Bubu, I was really worried. The third day, I decided to go out of my small village and try the other 3 towns near mine. They're like at 3-4 kilometers, and they're also small villages. So I went to the first one, I crossed all of it, and even there, no signs at all of Bubu. But finally, in the second one, as I was roaming with my unicycle and my whistle, and people were seeing this guy on a wheel doing a hell of noise all around, well, I could finally hear Bubu calling me back. He heard the sound of my whistle and he started to call me back like crazy. And immediately after I heard this sound, I was very happy because I knew he was coming back home. You know, Bubu is still a very good bird. He is trained, he has years of experience free flying. So the hard part for me was just to locate him, to find him, not much to convince him to come back to me. This was the easy part. So when I heard the sound, I just followed the sound, and after 5 minutes, I recognized that it was coming from a very tall tree. And this tree was inside of the yard of a condominium. There was a gate closed and there were walls. I had to climb and get inside of the property. There was no one to ask. There were people, but I didn't see at the moment. I was just focused on the bird. And so I climbed, and then I realized people were watching me. I mean, they see this guy with a whistle on a single wheel. I think the last thing they thought is that I was a thief. They thought maybe that was just crazy or something. But then I could finally make sight contact with Bubu. And he saw me, and as soon as he saw me, I whistled once more, and the bird flew to me. And then I realized that I had a lot of spectators all around. They were cheering for me to rescue the bird. And the lady told me that the previous day she saw Bubu flying lost above the houses, and she was wondering where this bird came from. Well, this lady, after that Bubu was on my shoulder, gave me a cardboard box. So I placed Bubu inside of the box, and I just came back home. And I guess these people had something funny to talk about in the evening. Me, I think, I thought about this, and I think it's a good idea to share what happened, because this gave me a lot of thoughts. I realized that no matter how many years, how much experience Bubu and my other birds are, something bad can happen anyway. What if the next time they're not as aware as this time and the bird manages to catch Bubu or Fuco or whoever? Or what if they fly too far away and I can't find them again? I think about this a lot, and I am very worried. It's not that I free fly my birds because I don't worry about them. I do, but I still think it's not just that. In the end, Bubu lived his experience, and he still wants to fly in the sky out of his cage sometimes. He still knows what can happen if he goes outside, and he still wants to go outside. I still think what I shared in this old video, so if you wanna know, just click the link. Let me know what you think about this experience, and see you soon. in the next video.